What started as 3 prototypes driven by purpose and possibility became the world's largest automaker. How did Toyota evolve from a wartime engine project in 1935 into shaping the cars of tomorrow in 2050? Origins and ambitions, 1935 to 1946. In May 1935, Kichiro Toyoda unveiled the A1 prototype, Toyota's very first car, built in secrecy and ambition. Only 3 A1 sedans were ever made, but they signaled something revolutionary. Japan could build a homegrown car company from scratch. Each prototype carried symbolic weight, none more so than the one Kichiro personally drove to his father Sakichi Toyoda's grave. It wasn't just a tribute, it was a declaration. Sakichi, the famed inventor of automatic looms, had always envisioned pushing beyond textiles into something bigger. His entrepreneurial spirit and the profits from the Toyota automatic loom works literally funded his son's leap into automobiles. The A1's 3.4-liter inline-six engine was reverse-engineered from American technology, particularly the Chevrolet Stovebolt 6, reflecting Toyota's willingness to learn from the best while building towards something original. It used a 3-speed manual gearbox, had sleek pre-war styling with a front-hinged hood, and despite being rudimentary by modern standards, it offered Japan its first real glimpse at a domestically built car with global potential. Sadly, all 3 A1s were lost to time. None survived, but their DNA lived on. Shortly after, Toyota shifted focus to commercial needs. The G1 truck emerged as a more practical offering, aimed at businesses and infrastructure projects in a rapidly changing Japan. By 1936, the Model AA entered production, the first true mass-produced Toyota vehicle. Its all-steel body, flowing lines, and spacious interior echoed the luxury sedans of the era, particularly the Chrysler Airflow, but it was adapted for local conditions and cost. Then in 1937, the auto division split from the Loom Company and became Toyota Motor Company, Limited. The spelling, notably changed from Toyota to Toyota, was chosen partly because it required 8 strokes in Japanese katakana, considered a lucky number, and it sounded more modern. As global tensions rose, Toyota began prioritizing military truck production. World War II severely limited passenger car output, but the company survived. And in 1947, with remarkable resilience, it returned to civilian cars with the Model SA, a small, air-cooled, rear-engine sedan designed for the average Japanese family. It was a modest restart, but it proved Toyota wasn't going away. It was just getting started. Rebuilding and breakthroughs, 1947 to 1966. Post-war Japan was a country rebuilding from ruins, and transportation was key to economic revival. People needed affordable, reliable cars, and Toyota stepped in to meet that need. In 1955, it launched the Toyopet Crown, the first entirely domestically engineered and manufactured Japanese passenger car. This wasn't just another vehicle. It was a national milestone. With its independent front suspension and durable chassis, the Crown offered comfort and control previously unseen in Japan's automotive scene. It was designed with Japanese roads in mind, but Toyota had a bigger vision. In 1957, the Crown became the first Japanese car exported to the United States. But the American market wasn't easily impressed. U.S. roads were vast, speed limits were high, and competition was fierce. The Toyopet Crown sedan struggled. It was underpowered, overpriced, and ill-suited for American highways. Sales floundered, yet Toyota didn't retreat. Instead, it listened, adapted, and innovated. That same year, the rugged Land Cruiser was introduced. A completely different beast, the Land Cruiser impressed with its durability and off-road capability. It resonated with military buyers, rural drivers, and outdoor enthusiasts, eventually becoming a global icon. Also in 1957, Toyota launched the Corona line, intended as a nimble, family-friendly sedan with better performance. By the early 1960s, the Corona Mark II elevated the lineup with improved engineering, roomier interiors, and competitive pricing. By 1967, the Corona helped Toyota become the third-largest import brand in the U.S., establishing its growing credibility. Then came 1966. Toyota introduced the Corolla, compact, efficient, and astonishingly reliable. It was the car that truly changed everything. The Corolla didn't just sell, it exploded in popularity worldwide. It became a staple of Toyota's identity, and by the 1970s, it was the best-selling car on the planet. By 2021, the Corolla had crossed 50 million units sold, cementing its legacy across 12 generations. Sports, luxury, and global expansion. 1967 to 1996. 1967 was a landmark year for Toyota, not just in terms of business growth, but in redefining what Japanese cars could represent on the world stage. That year marked the arrival of 2 bold statements in engineering and design: the Toyota 2000 GT and the Toyota Century. Together, they showcased the company's ability to operate at opposite ends of the automotive spectrum, performance and prestige, while maintaining its core principles of innovation and precision. The 2000 GT, developed in partnership with Yamaha, was Toyota's first serious entry into the high-performance sports car world. Its low-slung aerodynamic silhouette, pop-up headlights, and long hood gave it an exotic European look, while its 2.0-liter inline-six engine, producing 150 horsepower, delivered a top speed of around 135 miles per hour. Only 351 units were ever produced between 1967 and 1970, making it one of the rarest Toyotas in history. But its real value lay in what it represented, proof that Japan could build a car to rival the likes of Jaguar E-Types and Porsche 911S, not just on specs, but on design, craftsmanship, and emotional appeal. At the same time, Toyota released the Century, an ultra-luxury limousine intended only for the Japanese domestic market. It featured a V8 engine, wool interiors, handcrafted wood trim, and an exterior defined by understatement. Where Western luxury often equated to extravagance, the Century exuded restrained dignity. For decades, it would ferry Japan's most powerful figures, business leaders, royalty, and politicians, often with a chauffeur at the wheel. Its design remained nearly untouched for 30 years, a testament to how Toyota valued legacy and tradition alongside progress. Meanwhile, the company accelerated its global ambitions. The Toyota production system, emphasizing lean manufacturing and just-in-time efficiency, became a model for the entire industry. Guided by the Toyota Way, a philosophy rooted in continuous improvement and respect for people, Toyota entered the 1970s and 1980s with strength. Models like the Corolla, Crown, Celica, and Cressida became household names in markets around the world, positioning Toyota as a force not just in economy cars, but in every major automotive segment. Hybrid Revolution, 1997 to 2015. In December 1997, Toyota quietly changed the automotive world with the launch of the Prius HWT, the first mass-produced hybrid car in history. Initially released only in Japan, the Prius featured a 1.5-liter gasoline engine paired with an electric motor powered by a nickel-metal hydride battery. While the early design was modest, the underlying technology was revolutionary. It promised what once seemed impossible: drastically lower fuel consumption without sacrificing usability. The Prius quickly drew global attention, earning accolades for its innovation and setting a new standard in environmentally conscious engineering. As the model evolved, Toyota fine-tuned its hybrid technology across multiple generations. Each version improved fuel economy, battery efficiency, and driving experience. The Prius didn't just become a car, it became a symbol, a badge of honor for those who wanted to drive into the future without leaving a heavy carbon footprint. But Toyota didn't stop there. It expanded hybrid technology across its lineup, first to the Camry, then the Corolla, RAV4, Highlander, and eventually across the entire Lexus luxury range. This wasn't just a trend, it became a company-wide philosophy. By January 2020, Toyota had sold over 15 million hybrid vehicles globally, preventing millions of tons of CO2 emissions and securing its role as a pioneer in eco-friendly mobility. The electrified architecture era, 2015 to 2025. 2015 saw Toyota release the first Mirai, the first mass-produced hydrogen fuel cell sedan. Toyota's strategy evolved into the power of "and", offering hybrid, plug-in hybrid, fuel cell, and pure BEV together as a multi-pronged approach to carbon neutrality. By 2024 to 2025, Toyota had more than 55 electrified models in Europe and over 32 million electrified vehicles sold worldwide, cutting CO2 emissions by nearly 200 million tons. In Europe, Toyota committed to full carbon neutrality by 2040, globally by 2050. The first BEV under the new BZ sub-brand, the BZ4X SUV, launched around 2021. By 2025, Toyota aims to offer 10 BEV models in Europe. By 2030, at least 30 BEV models globally with 3.5 million units sold annually. Leadership under Koji Sato from April 2023 accelerated the pivot. Toyota planned to launch 10 new EVs by 2026, up from only 2 active models while still leveraging hybrids and hydrogen wherever infrastructure is limited. By early 2025, Toyota announced plans to build EV models in its UK and European plants, keeping 8 factories open while introducing 2 Toyota EVs and 3 Lexus EVs by 2026. Reports also indicated Toyota would expand to roughly 15 in-house EV models by 2027, targeting about 1 million units per year, later revised to approximately 800,000, including luxury Lexus variants with manufacturing spread across Japan, China, US, Thailand, and Argentina. Toyota unveiled plans to modernize internal combustion engines to run on green fuels, hydrogen, bioethanol, or pair with electric motors and hybrids, signaling that pure BEVs are not the only sustainable path. Its Engine Reborn concept represents renewed focus on low-carbon fuels. A story, ARC, From humble hand-built prototypes in pre-war Japan to global hybrid dominance, and finally to a bold, multi-tech electrified future. It's a journey not just of machines, but of mindset. Each chapter carries its own breakthroughs. The 2000 GT shattered the myth that Japanese cars couldn't be exciting. The Prius redefined what it meant to be efficient. And today, the BZ series signals a new era of mass-market battery electric vehicles, rooted in accessibility and sustainability. Subplots add depth. The enduring Corona gave Toyota global footing. The Crown and Century signaled maturity and prestige. The Land Cruiser embodied rugged reliability in the world's harshest terrains. The Celica inspired a generation of enthusiasts. And the Lexus line proved that luxury could come with bulletproof reliability. Together, these models form a living archive of Toyota's adaptability, how it read markets, anticipated trends, and continuously evolved. At every stage, Toyota's pioneering spirit and commitment to Kaizen, continuous improvement, keeps the momentum alive. It's not just about leading. It's about evolving, deliberately, and always with purpose. Future Vision, 2030 to 2050. Looking ahead from 2025, Toyota is setting ambitious but carefully structured goals to transform the company into a global leader in sustainability. At the heart of this transformation is a firm commitment to carbon neutrality. Globally, Toyota aims to cut CO2 emissions from new vehicles by around 90% by 2050, compared to 2010 levels. But it's not just about tailpipe emissions. Toyota plans to achieve full value chain neutrality, including production, supply chain, and logistics, by 2040. Every stage of the car's life cycle is being reimagined to reduce environmental impact. Europe is at the forefront of this strategy. By 2035, Toyota intends for 100% of its new vehicle sales in the European Union to be zero emission. That includes battery electric vehicles, BEVs, and fuel cell electric vehicles, FCEVs. By 2040, the company plans to extend full carbon neutrality to every part of its European operation, from factories to parts suppliers. Globally, Toyota is scaling up BEV production with unprecedented speed. By 2030, it expects to offer at least 30 BEV models across international markets, aiming for more than 3.5 million BEV sales per year. But Toyota's strategy isn't BEV exclusive. The company continues to invest in plug-in hybrids, PHEVs, full hybrids, HEVs, and hydrogen-powered vehicles, believing that different markets require different solutions. Notably, Toyota isn't declaring the internal combustion engine dead. Instead, it's working on reinventing it. Engineers are developing new generation engines that can run on carbon-neutral fuels like hydrogen and bioethanol. These engines are expected to play a vital role in hybrid systems, especially in regions where charging infrastructure is limited or unreliable. In essence, Toyota's future isn't about one solution. It's about a spectrum of technologies tailored for a diverse world. The next 25 years will define how Toyota turns its multi-pathway strategy into global reality. Toyota's vision for the mid-21st century. By the mid-21st century, Toyota envisions a radically transformed transportation ecosystem, one where no single solution dominates, but where each technology serves the needs of its environment. In densely populated urban centers, battery electric vehicles, BEVs, will take the lead, offering zero-emission, quiet, and efficient mobility, perfectly suited to short commutes and city living. These BEVs, ranging from compact sedans to innovative micro-EVs and quadricycles like the FT-Me concept, will reshape how people move through smart cities. Beyond urban areas, Toyota plans for fuel cell electric vehicles, FCEVs, to power the long-haul sector, especially trucks and buses operating in infrastructure-limited or rural regions where battery recharging is impractical. FCEVs offer fast refueling and long range, making them ideal for commercial transport and heavy-duty logistics. Hybrids will continue to play a vital bridging role in areas where charging networks are underdeveloped. These vehicles will benefit from a new generation of low-carbon internal combustion engines that run on alternative fuels such as hydrogen or bioethanol, reducing emissions without depending entirely on electric infrastructure. Looking toward 2040 to 2050, Toyota also aims to deploy hydrogen fuel cell technology across light trucks and commercial fleets. Synthetic fuels will power legacy internal combustion engines used in specialized sectors like industrial machinery, aviation support, and operations in remote environments. Achieving this future will depend not only on the vehicles themselves but also on global collaboration, through infrastructure partnerships, sustainable fuel production, and carbon offset strategies. Toyota isn't just building cars for tomorrow, it's building an ecosystem for the next century, a future in motion. From the first A1 prototypes in 1935, through Crown, Corolla, and Prius eras, to a multimodal EV future by 2050, Toyota's story is one of steady evolution, resilience, and reinvention. Its multi-pathway, people-centric carbon neutrality strategy blends technology diversity with legacy preservation. The journey ends in 2050 with a global Toyota fleet delivering near-zero emissions across urban streets, highways, remote roads, deserts, and mountain highways. Electric vehicles cruise silently, fuel cell vehicles hum powerfully, and hybrids serve where flexibility matters. Green fuel engines continue in transition zones. Manufacturing regions remain active, supplying low-emission vehicles, powered by renewables, built by millions of workers. Toyota's future isn't a single vehicle, but an ecosystem, a choice-inclusive, planet-aware mobility provider for everyone. And as its next chapter begins, the enduring question returns: how will Toyota adapt to the next 100 years of change? That is the story continued beyond 2050.